One of the things I have given Wuthering Waves credit for was hitting on issues which affect real people today. I enjoy thematic ties in media stuff and how it's shown to give way to our reality, whether it be a warning or an examination of. It's why I have such an affinity for games like Xenoblade, books like Inherent Vice by Thomas Pynchon, or anime like Devilman Crybaby. It's also why I love Wuthering Waves, and in its case, it ranges from the philosophical questions of what it means to be human and our nature as these beings in a broader sense, to depressive states and overworking in a more close-to-home sense. With Rinascita coming up, things look to be bright and cheery. However, there was this little statement that Dong made which gives a little bit of an insight as to what the lifestyle is there, but also what a potential central conflict may be. The arts, drama, creativity, but also commercialism, where wealth and power is held by a few elite families. That was the interesting thing where I feel like story-wise, Kuro can make a really big impact. Now, if you ask me, right now, living is fucking rough. People are struggling monetarily, feeding their families, paying rents, bills, and services is an ever soul-sucking thing. My hope is that beneath this region of happy fireworks and masquerading creatives shimmying your attention elsewhere, there's the throes of a struggling working class that is making headway for overthrowing an elite ruling class that beneath it all is making Rinascita's people suffer at the hands of the greedy. I can imagine this being a region where these artists are used as corrupted tools of the elite to veil your eyes to the oppressive greed the powerful have successfully been pulling off until our arrival. I think that this thematic idea would do two things. One, tackle relatable problems we have now, making the conflict we see in Rinascita more impactful, while two, simultaneously embodying a perverse human concept in avarice. Both of these points are important because obviously you want to be engaged in the story, but for the second point of greed as the linchpin idea, it falls in line with how Huang Long played out as essentially the manifested conceptualization of war, another negative trait of humanity. So it keeps consistent in major act storytelling arcs, but they say also that Rinascita may hold answers for Abby's hunger. While a bit of a stretch, hunger and greed conceptually tend to go hand in hand as literary metaphors for each other. Think also to the literal examples through things like political comics. You know, the rich fat guy snorlaxing it up while the poor are looking like walking bell sprouts. Gluttonous, insatiable hunger at the price of those beneath who carry the weight unequally of those at the top. Hey, so this is post-edit Vin. So actually, funny enough, I wrote all of this without even looking into what Rinascita means or even like where it comes from. And this made me really excited, by the way. So just like stick with me for a second because I'm gonna give you, I guess, some context and a little bit of history in regards to what Rinascita is and what it's in reference to. And this will help sort of drive home, I guess, my last little bit after this. So, ironically enough, this is in reference to an old 1940s political magazine which had ideological roots in the PCI, aka the Italian Communist Party. It was in an effort to revive the Marxist ideals for this time, fight fascism, and discuss and guide the nation through a Marxist lens. From my understanding, Rinascita was a piece of literature that is a base for a lot of political and cultural theories we still discuss today. For example, Gramsci as a Marxist linguist and overall prolific author was well known for his ideas on unity and diversity through linguistics and his critique of hegemonic power, which is extremely apropos considering today's climate of US hegemony and the many nations which are opposed to it and critical of it, with one of those being China. So sort of keep this in mind and sort of connect it all back to what I was saying before and what I'm about to say in a second, but it lends some credence to my hope and assumption of what 2.0 could bring us story or lore-wise.
And now back to your regularly scheduled program.
All that being said, Kuro hasn't been afraid of touching on some of humanity's worst aspects. In regards to Wuthering Waves, they can create a poignant story that is based around a seemingly ever-present idea of the powerful exploiting those around them, hiding the truth behind art, smoke, mirrors, and blood-scented steps crafted from the wary spines of the soon-rising denizens.